All right, it should be working now. That's crazy because my mic was actually plugged in there. Usually when there's no sound, it's because I didn't plug my mic into my computer. But it was actually plugged in and there was no sound. So look, man, there's nothing I could do about that one. I'm sorry, guys. That's rough. That's a rough start to the stream, right? When you think you set everything up perfectly and then your tech fails you. But here we are, guys. Sorry about that. But let's start off from the top. Let's take it back a few minutes. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. Oh, man. Anyways, look, it's Monday morning. Hope you're all having a great day. Hope you had a good weekend, all right? And we're going to start off the live stream like we always do with our crypto market overview. Let's get into it. Cue the transition. All right, so like I was just saying while I was talking to myself, it does appear the lower time frame pivot was put in last Thursday. All right, many coins put in some bottoms, right? We had a red week last week, and we're going to show the charts right now because a lot of the coins that retraced hard last week are regaining lost levels of support. All right, they're flipping resistance back into support. So as of right now, things do look bullish. Anyways, Bitcoin 118,800 right now. Ethereum is trading just underneath 3,900. Binance Coin BNB, new all-time highs. Solana above 190. All right, so all of the majors, all these big coins are all exuding strength currently. Crypto Bubbles top 100. I only see one red coin at CRV. Everything is green for the most part today. All right, coins like SPX up 11.5%. ENA has been an absolute rocket ship. It didn't dip at all last week. It just keeps on pumping with the stablecoin narrative. We got DeFi coins, layer 2s like Optimism OP and Pancake Swap, up double digits today. So we have movement in the sector, to say the least. So let's get into these charts right now and talk about what we can be looking for now as we do get into this week. So the first chart we're going to look at is USDT dominance. Now, USDT dominance, like we talked about yesterday in the stream, right? This 9-day did close underneath the 9-day bearish breaker block here, all right? And we also did close underneath the previous swing low, which we already did on the daily and a lot of other higher time frames, but now the 9-day did as well, okay? So look, it does appear that USDT dominance has a bearish posture. And again, like we've been saying, 4% is what we're looking for. All right. Could take 1 week. It could take 2 weeks to get here. But when this is trending towards 4%, that is going to be a heavy risk on period. And I think that's right now. Okay. Another thing is the Bitcoin dominance metric. And Bitcoin dominance looks ready to break down past this 2-week level of demand. All right, again, there's a lot of money in Bitcoin. It's trading at $118,800. So a few percent drop on Bitcoin dominance is massive. And where is that money going into? It's going into altcoins. All right. Right now we're seeing heavy rotations, of course, into Ethereum. Solana's not doing too bad either, right? Look at the Sol BTC chart. Starting, this is the 2-week time frame on the weekly time frame. It looks like Solana versus Bitcoin has put in a double bottom here, and it's at this neckline breakout point. Okay, if you guys were in yesterday's live stream, we went over a lot of altcoins that are in this similar like weekly range, and they're all looking to break their necklines, or some of them have already. An example of one that has already broken a neckline is something like ENA, right? Here's that line, the breakout line, and this thing just flew up. So some of them are outperforming others, of course. That's just how the market is always going to work. But anyways, back to Bitcoin dominance, the original point here. When this drops, a ton of money rotates into alts, which is very, very good for those who like to hold, invest into altcoins or trade them, right? We love the volatility. So what we're looking for is further bearish continuation on Bitcoin dominance. This triple drive top looks like, it was the cycle top actually. As of now, to me, I mean, things change, things are going to change. But as of right now, this appears to be the top for Bitcoin dominance. Keep an eye. but we are looking for the 2-month demand zone next at around 59%. So that is looking pretty good if you ask me. And yeah, I mean, look, USDT dominance, the idea is see 4% with Bitcoin dominance dropping in tandem. That's altcoin season in a nutshell. All right, when these two charts are dropping, that is altcoin season. All cycle long, it's been Bitcoin dominance just going up, even at the brief times that USDT dominance has dropped. Now we have both together, which is really, it's like the holy grail for everyone in crypto. It's also worth noting that these volatility indexes, I haven't showed these in a bit on these live streams, but I still check them. I mean, they're still so low. The ETH one isn't that low anymore, but you know, these volatility index charts, there's a lot of room for them to run. Like, they need to double, basically. They need to double to get to resistance. This is at 7. The Bitcoin is at 4.5. And if you look at where the resistance is it's like 10 or 11. So these things have to double, meaning there's going to be a lot of volatility when they finally start to break up. Another major and very important chart is going to be Ethereum, Bitcoin, ETH, BTC. Ozzy says the big money is in ETF and it's not going to flow into altcoins. To an extent, yes, you're absolutely correct. However, the big money is an interesting term because look, 1% of the Bitcoin market share, the Bitcoin market cap, what is it, 2.3 trillion? So what's 1% of 2.3 trillion? Like 230 billion, something like that? Or is that 10%? 23 billion, something like that. I think 23 billion. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. But it doesn't need to drop that much percent to see massive amounts of capital flow into alts, okay? So that's why we're not expecting, like previous cycles, we're not really expecting like to see 30% again, 38, 39%. All right, I think the lowest this goes is the mid to upper 40% levels. So it's not going to drop as much. Not as much money will rotate into alts, but I still think there will be sufficient capital to see a lot of altcoins see a lot of upside. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near the magnitude of last cycles for most coins, but there's still going to be money to be made, all right? Especially going forward here. Especially going forward. Like, the money is going to be made in alts primarily, in my opinion. Anyways, let's look at Ethereum. From this point on, obviously this was a Bitcoin-driven cycle, but that doesn't last forever, and we're looking for risk on alts, basically, right? And that's really going to start when Ethereum goes and clears 4,000 and starts to pump to the all-time high at 4,900, right? As you can see, ETH is just short, just shy of this $4,000 resistance level. I go over the level to pull back every single live stream, $3,300. We know that now, right? We know that. But the idea is to, again, see USDT dominance drop towards 4%, which is going to give us the push on ETH to 4,000. Now, when it comes to the time of this market and things like that, look, it's July 28th. August is about to start. And we may see a very, very positive start to the month of August. I'm not sure about the end of it, okay? But I think we're going to see a very positive start to it. Meaning the first 1-2 weeks are, as of right now, looking like they're going to be really bullish, okay? If the charts start to shift posture, we'll see. But anyways, again, my messaging from yesterday still applies, right? Don't FOMO into things. You should only be taking trades on clearly defined levels. All right. And, last week we had a lot of clearly defined levels go ahead and hit really well, right? I mean, I'm not going to go through them again because I went over them yesterday, but you guys who have been watching the streams, right, you know that we caught a lot of, we caught the pivot low basically on stream live, right? They all hit our bullish breaker blocks. Now they're all up 8, 10, whatever percent. Now, to everyone who is not inside of the crypto empire, or the empire trading floor, I should say, look, all you need to do to get inside here is to sign up to Blofin using the link down in the description below. And then you only have to deposit $200, right, if you want to trade, and you can get into the empire trading floor group. For example, last night, shout out to Neo. Neo is helping me in the trading floor. But he went ahead and called Pump Fun. And then I took a look at Pump Fun as well. But anyways, here's what we found, or here's what I found. Neo doesn't use hidden order blocks like I use them. But I went ahead and discovered a little 3-hour bullish breaker block on pump.fun. And look, I don't like this coin at all. I think this coin is cancer to the market. But I don't hate it. I don't date it. I just trade it. So that's exactly what we've done here, okay? We took the entry last night in the 3-hour breaker block. And as we can see, we're having some positive momentum. Now, look, Pump Fun has been a falling knife since it did actually launch, okay? This thing has just been going down only. However, it does appear the market structure is shifting, right? Where we transition from a downtrend to more of this sideways ranging market, okay? And then on the lower time frames, for example, I used the 3-hour for this trade. What happened on the lower time frame was we put in a swing high, and then we had a really big move that closed above the swing high. And when we close above a swing high, it validates the breaker block. All right, it makes it a legitimate opportunity. If we don't, like, if this candle was only to pump to here and not close above the swing high, I would not have taken the long from the breaker block because it's not valid. Right? To anyone who can't see the breaker block, I'm going to make it abundantly clear. I actually got a fancy new indicator today that shows me. I'll show you. It's called hidden liquidity. If we go ahead and turn that bad boy on, let's wait for it to load. Let's see if actually we need to do the replay tool because it's already used, right? There we go. That's it, guys. It's my fancy new tool. But anyways, just a perfect 3-hour breaker, and we can hit the replay. And there we have it, right? Price came right into it, and we're bouncing out of it now. So anyways, guys, join the Empire Trading Floor Telegram group. There's no, I mean, it's not exactly free, but it's not going to, like, you don't pay anything to us to get in. You just sign up to Blofin with the affiliate link, make a deposit of at least $200, and you can join the group, and you can see what we're up to, what we're trading, things like that. All right, guys? So anyways, this happened last night after the live stream. So that's why it's very important. If you want to be further involved in the community, maybe you're not ready to join the Mastermind yet, this is the perfect intermediate step, in my opinion, to go ahead and get further involved in the Crypto Empire community. So check out that link down in the description below and go ahead and get yourself set up, all right? We'll be here all cycle long, and we'll be looking to short the top all the way down to the bottom, guys. So you might as well get in while the requirements are really easy to get in. It just started. All right, so you're still early. You'll still be one of the first 100 people inside of the group if you join. Anyways, that's Pump Fun. AI16Z. Just kidding, it's AI16Z. You know, another one that came into a level last, I believe it was Thursday, right? Or the low was put in on Friday here. But anyways, you know, this is currently up 14% or so. And if you look at the chart, yes, right, the low is all the way down here at 9-10 cents. But let's zoom out for a second. Let's zoom out for a second here, guys. Where do you think the money is to be had? Is it by going short? This goes with like all these AI coins, Griffin, Cookie, AI16Z, whatever. All the big AI agent coins, they all kind of have similar charts right now. Cookie's a little bit more bullish looking. But is the money to short it to the bottom, or is it to look for longs up? Let's use common sense. It's obviously to the upside right now. Just look at the chart. Don't overcomplicate it. So again, this is a weekly range, and it's at the bottom of the range currently. So the idea is to simply see a breakout of the top of the range. And there's many charts in the AI narrative that, you know, have similar looking charts basically. Many of them look very, very similar. Anyways, what's going on? Let me check up with our live chat right now. Shout out to our boy Bait. What up, Bait? Shout out to Joey Joe. We got Zach Berkowicz. What's up, Zach? Dexcast. Make Gohan great again. That's a great name, man. Shout out to Gohan. And all the Z fighters out there. We got G Money. Everyone telling me I was muted. Yeah. We're aware. Shout out to Kaido King. Bait says you are high. Nah, I'm definitely not high, man. I'm sober. Definitely not high, man. There's no hope in smoking dope, brother. That shit will ruin your life, straight up. Bartland already asked about Pump Fun. And we already took a look at that one. So Bartland, hopefully you got the analysis you were looking for there. Joey Joe says, what do you think about the breakout on Dynex, DNX? I haven't checked Dynex in a long time. What do I think about the breakout, though? So, I mean, I must have last checked this chart in like March or something, because I really haven't checked this in months. So in terms of what I think about the breakout, it is a very similar thing across many different coins, and this one has just broken out. So again, all these altcoins are in weekly ranges, these sideways ranges, after long extended downtrends for all of this year, essentially. From January to June, basically, all of these coins have been downtrending. And, you know, they've been sideways or so for the past few months. But anyways, right, horizontal range breakout. It broke the neckline of the range. So what do I think about this? I mean, it's cool, but it's still down 99 or so %. 94, 95%. Right, it's like the Tectum breakout. What do I think about the Tectum breakout? I mean, man, it's great to see. You know, this one hasn't even broken its range yet. But I'm still, like, I bought a very large amount of this coin and I got destroyed. So it's like, oh, well, let's go. It's coming back. But I mean, I check it and I'm just like, want to throw up. So, you know, that's that. I never bought DNX though. So I have no emotional attachment to this coin. But I mean, hey, maybe it's the start of a crazy rally where it comes back up to like our levels here at 30 cents. All right. In terms of what's happening, really, like in terms of new things to update on, like I'm not gonna lie, guys. And like right now, like let's look at something like Atom. Okay, let's look at something like Atom here. So if we just analyze, because we've been tracking these coins on a daily basis, right? So I know there's new people coming into the live streams, just discovering the channel for the first time. I understand that. So I want to go ahead and make sure everyone is on the same page. But, you know, we look at these coins every single day. So we have a very good gauge on what they're doing and what we want to look for in terms of trades and things of those natures, things of that nature. So anyways, if you look at what's happening here on Atom, we essentially sold off really hard last week, right? After hitting a high price of $5.30. This is Cosmos, right? Total shitcoin that's done nothing all cycle long. But if there was ever a time for it to break out from this long range it's been in, I think it's going to be around this time. So anyways, this thing put in a 16% sell-off in around 3 days time last week. It found its bottom right inside of the 7-day breaker block here. Again, we were live on stream showing this in real time when it was in this zone, saying like, this is the spot. Anyways, price has recovered nicely now, and it needs to go ahead and flip this 6-hour level over here now. I mean, call it a 6-hour level. We don't have to even complicate it, right? Just look, this is an obvious support resistance flip over here at around $4.90 or so to $5. Okay, so we're looking for Atom to peek its head back above $5 and go and run the highs. Because like I was just saying, this thing has underperformed for years now. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Here's our weekly time frame. Talk about a weekly range, right? This thing's just been range bound. When did it come in here? July of 2024. Basically, it spent basically one full year between $5.50 down to $3.30. It spent a few weeks above the range, but that quickly kind of fizzled out, right? It pumped 88% above the range high, and this lasted for 70 days from November to presidential inauguration in January 2025. So something like Atom, right? It's been range bound for so long, and as of right now, it is now back to the range highs. So setups like these, it's quite simple, okay? The market has bullish momentum. Look at Ethereum. Look at Bitcoin. The market has bullish momentum. So we want to see this bullish momentum essentially carry over. And we want to see these weekly ranges break. And we want to see a breakout of the weekly ranges. So I think I already went over Atom, but like in previous streams. But basically, the high from December was $10. Now, if you look at the chart, like this is a small range from $5.50 to $3, but there's also another massive range here from like $5.50 up to $17, and price stalled out at 10. So it's my opinion that if Atom can actually clear $10, there's a very solid chance we can see this thing run up to like $20-30. And this goes with a lot of other coins too. A lot of other Dino coins that have underperformed, right? If they need to break their weekly ranges. I just think now is the time for them to start to break their weekly ranges. So yeah, that's my stance on a lot of these Dino coins. On a lot of the Dino coins. Anyways, let's get into some news right now. So basically, we pumped right after I finished our stream yesterday on Sunday. Right? If we go to Bitcoin here on the lower time frame, let's turn off our fancy new indicator. But long story short, we saw this thing pump from 118 and almost hit 120 yesterday. We're currently trading at 119K on Bitcoin. Don't forget, guys, in terms of targets and things like that, we still have our Fibonacci extension target level, the 618, or the negative 618, I should say, at 130K. So this is the main level to look for, in my opinion, from this point on. All right, if we take this fib and we put the extensions on the chart, $130,000 on Bitcoin. We already hit the 0.27 at 118K. We're looking for the 618 next. A major level. This very well could be the cycle top on Bitcoin, up here at like 130K. But anyways, just from yesterday, right, we saw a nice little move with Bitcoin going ahead and pushing, trying to get back into 120K because, the liquidation heat map does still show a lot of liquidation between $120,000 and $121,000. Right, as we can see here. It's like 500 mil up here between 120 and 121. And to the downside, the liquidations are really not as much. And they're down at like 114. Maybe there's some at 117, but not nearly as much compared to 120. So if I'm thinking like a market maker and I want to go ahead and grab these liquidations, I'm going to have to push the price up. So anyways, Bitcoin, after hitting the daily fair value gap, as we can see on Friday over here, is back up to our range high, right? Our range high is at 118,900. So this looks pretty bullish right now. And there was some big news that came in last night to cause the pump, that China and the US have agreed to extend the tariff pause by another 90 days. So the tariff pause has been extended. No harsh tariffs on countries doing trade with the US right now. And the market really likes when the tariffs get paused. It loves the announcements. It loves the announcements that tariffs are getting paused. Every time it happens, things tend to pump. Also, moving on. So on Wednesday of this week, the White House is going to release its first crypto policy report. And they say, will we see a Bitcoin strategic reserve? But also on Wednesday of this week is the big FOMC meeting. I'll just show that to you here on Forex Factory. As we can see, Wednesday, July 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the U.S. federal funds rate, interest rate coming in. So Wednesday is a huge day, actually, for the market this week. The White House releasing a crypto policy report, and it is FOMC day this Wednesday. So we definitely have to mark our calendars and be ready for Wednesday, because it looks like there could be some absolutely insane volatility. We'll see what happens, guys, but we already are positioned in longs. We'll see what happens. If we do get a dip, we'll be looking to buy. But yeah, I mean, it's just a huge day on Wednesday. It's a huge day on Wednesday. Interest rates are expected to stay unchanged. If they do some type of change, maybe they lower rates at some totally shocking thing where they lower the rates, the market could fly. But as of right now, according to the numbers, it does appear that interest rates will remain unchanged. Also, moving on. So NFTs are coming back to life. The CryptoPunks floor is back above $200,000 again. So there's a lot of interest in NFTs all of a sudden. A lot of them are starting to pick up the trading volume, more frequent sales, more trading happening with NFTs. These are all indicators of people being risk on, okay? Because people aren't buying 200K NFTs in a bear market where everything is risk off. It only happens in a frothy market, all right? So that's definitely one interesting thing to note. We are seeing signs of euphoria, or not really euphoria, but froth and overheatedness everywhere, okay? We're not really seeing too much euphoria right now. More so signs of it being overheated. And that's mainly with the politicians just being so positive about Bitcoin. For example, here is Jerome Powell saying Bitcoin is digital gold. We'll play this clip.
People use Bitcoin as a speculative asset, right? It's like gold. It's just like gold, only it's virtual. It's digital. People are not using it as a form of payment or as a store of value. It's highly volatile. It's not a competitor for the dollar. It's really a competitor for gold.
Not a competitor for the dollar, really a competitor for gold. Remember how all these politicians and all these guys from Washington, D.C. would just nonstop, like, just spit on Bitcoin and crypto in 2022 and 2023? Well, now they all love it. Everything in life is a cycle. They probably are going to, like, hate it again in a year or something like that. Who knows? But there's signs of froth. Look at what all the politicians are saying right now. They all are absolutely loving crypto and Bitcoin. Just don't be so naive. Anyways, we also have Sharpling Gaming adding another $295 million of Ethereum to their Ethereum treasury. They just keep on buying ETH. There's also other big entities buying a lot of Ethereum as well. So Ethereum continuing to get accumulated here. And now one little joke humor post here while we go over our news. So Jesse Pollock, who's that guy who he's like in charge of the base community. You see him in all the base videos, right? He's got the buzz cut and that big cheesy smile. But anyways, he tweeted out, if you're trading, if you're used to trading on Solana and you just started trading on Base, what are the biggest pain points? He wants to learn and fix them for everyone. And somebody responded, you're the biggest pain point. And obviously it's like satire, but if you guys have been following along Base, this one should make you laugh because it is funny. And then he responded, include my reply. And his reply was this. I mean, the guy is just very, very cringe. He's a very, very cringe individual. And he's the head of the community on Base. But hey, that's a little joke for everyone. Hopefully you guys get the joke, get the humor. Let's see. We're going to take a few questions right now. We got a super chat from FBS. FBS, I'm sorry I missed the super chat, but let's take a look at what FBS has said. Thank you for the 10 pounds, my man. He says, thanks for all the alpha. Checking a thesis on Bonk. On the 4 hour seems to be in a bull flag. The Bollinger Bands are tightening, and Bonk Eco Cabal is doing buybacks. Is this primed to break out or not? All right, that's a great question, FBS. I love all of the detail included in your question. It makes it really easy to go ahead and, give you a solid answer. Great questions always produce great answers. Right. Anyways, bull flag. Yeah, I mean, call it a bull flag, call it like a triangle, call it a pennant. It looks like a bullish consolidation pattern. Plenty of different names we can use, plenty of different names we can throw out there on Bonk here. So what we have is we have price coming in and testing levels where we've seen rejections in the past. Right, we have this level of supply from prior up here, and we can see price wicked into it, and we're just in this consolidation. So yes, I'm going to have to agree with you, FBS, and say that this does look like a bullish continuation pattern before another breakout over here on Bonk. We're also seeing pump funds start to pick up as well, with Bonk, leading this breakout. So these two are in direct competition right now, because Bonk is doing the same thing as Punk or Pump Fund. I called it Punk. It's a Punk project, but yes, I do agree with you, FBS. So I just put a 1 week partial on the chart. I'm going to test out my new fancy indicator live and see if it, let's just look at it together. Yes, my eyes are correct. So look, if we get a pullback, we have this level. We have this level just underneath the current consolidation range. It looks bullish, man. It looks like a bullish breakout to me. I would look for bullish continuation out of this. And the next real big objective would be a daily candle close above the swing high. The swing high from the 19th of January. The 19th of January. So Bonk is where it was basically when Trump was inaugurated into the White House. 6-7 months of bearish price action was erased in a period of like 20 days or so. 6 months to go down, 20 days to go up and recoup all of that, basically. That's just how crypto works. Omar says, if you are already on Blofin, how do you add your link to join your group? So if you already have a Blofin account, Dre, shout out to Dre. He says sign up for a new account using my link. That's absolutely correct. So if you already have an account and you signed up already and didn't use the Crypto Empire link, the bot is not going to work for you. The bot works, okay? But it's only going to work if you actually use my link. It checks everything. It's a robot. It knows what to check, right? Let's see. Barrio, Bob's my uncle with a super chat right now. He says, thanks for Barrio shout out last live. It looks good. Yeah, like I said with Barrio, the base team they won some type of competition for development, and they got like a 40K grant, and that really just put them on the map, right? It added a whole another level of legitimacy for their project. And you can see the low was put in yesterday on the 27th on Sunday after sweeping this range low. So yeah, this does look good, Bob's my uncle. I agree with you. I mean, it looks like could be a play on base. It for sure could be a play on base. Let's see. Kilted Warrior says, Connor, doing an awesome job, man. Really adapted your style here over the last few months in the live, making it clear and educational, and above all, sharing your skill to help others. Thank you, man. I appreciate that comment, right? Thank you for recognizing that, dude. And yeah, somebody said Medicaid. Medicaid on base as well. Doesn't look like it wants to come into the level we outlined. All right. We had this 6-day, 3-time order block. And what happened here on Medicaid was price basically broke the channel. And it just used the top of the channel as support before, making another push up. So, yeah, I mean, the coin's strong. I don't know what the heck happened to the volume. Maybe it's somewhere else now, right? Look at the volume. I don't know what happened. But, it did not come into the level that I would have wanted. And so I'm not going to chase it, but, the coin's showing some strength. And have I been seeing all the wild updates? Well, the chart certainly tells us everything we need to know about all the updates. It appears the market really likes what is going on. So, Bob, if I'm not mistaken, you were asking me about wild down here on the live streams, right? So this is a lot of strength here. This is a big breakout we're seeing on Wilder World. A 250% move in the past 3 or so weeks. So the fundamental updates, no, but I mean, the chart tells us everything we need to know. The market likes it. Next level to flip is going to be 50 cents for Wild. As you can see, 50 cents is a big level of resistance. Just look to the left. And if it can flip that, you can see a push up to $1, really. Yeah, push up to $1. By the way, all of these I don't make my lines like this anymore. All of these lines, these yellow dotted lines, are literally from 2022, like bear market. So that's interesting. This chart has a lot of history on my account. Thank you for the super chat. People asking about Giga Chad. Yeah, Giga Chad looks good. It broke out today. So with Giga, or it didn't actually break out, but it's having a nice green day right now. I don't think we're going to see 1.6 cents, But that is a daily level to look for if it is given. I don't think we will see it. But if you look at Giga here, we tried to long the breakout last week. We had a great entry. We caught this move, but price came and stopped us out at break even, right? Where's that? There it is, this one. This was from the 20th of July, last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago. All right, we got a nice little, what was this, like a 10% move? 12% or so, but you know, price came, hit our stop at because we moved it to break even. And now, well, it's starting to look to break out of the same resistance line again, right? We have our resistance line at 2.16 cents. So Giga wants to clear it. Pullback levels, if we do get a pullback, it's going to be like 2 cents exactly. 2 cents exactly. This is kind of sauce here. It makes it so easy to find those levels. It's a very handy tool that saves a lot of time. I think the most tedious thing is actually when I go through the time frames. Obviously, I don't do this during my live streams, but I mean, I sit on my charts and I go through time frame by time frame trying to find the levels. I mean, what a lifesaver. Shout out to Mox for building this indicator. But anyways, that's that. That's Giga Chad. Again, 2 cents would be the level. If it was going to pull back, this is the level that you want to look for. And one more time for pump, we are looking for it. We're looking for it to clear the highs at 0.003. So I just randomly clicked on Moodang. I want to see what's happening with Moodang here. Well, they updated TradingView. It's different. This is interesting, guys. Moodang is sitting directly on this daily time frame trend line. Right on the daily time frame trend line here. So we do have a daily time frame bullish breaker block down here. And this is down at 16 cents. Current price is 20 cents. So if for whatever reason this was to break its line and go down 20%, that would be a great entry down there. But if this trend is going to hold and continue, well, this is the inflection point right on our line here. Okay, we have many touches of this line. It's a valid trend line. If this bullish trend is going to continue, it has to hold here and basically pump. And we can also just observe this and look to the left. Right, if we just look to the left a bit, mainly here, right, we're just going to drop a line. And it's pretty clear that price has a horizontal resistance level here at 21.5 cents. So what we have right here on Moodang is a classic bull market pattern. Call it an ascending triangle. You can call it an ascending pennant. But it's there. It's definitely there. And we're right at the apex of this. So we're either going to see this thing pump or dump. And what you could do if you wanted to trade the breakout is just play it super tight, right? Because if it starts to lose the trend line, just get out of it. Just get out. It's already kind of starting to lose it on the lower time frame. This is on the daily. So for example, you can say, I mean, we do have a brand new Monday range forming right now. So that's another thing to consider, guys. We have a brand new Monday range forming right now. So if Tuesday, tomorrow, we see this come below Monday's low and start to show signs of bullish posture, we can look to take our Monday trading range strategy. But yeah, I would probably wait until the Monday range forms. Personally. Maybe you guys will look at it differently, but I just randomly clicked on Moodang, and this is what I'm seeing on the chart. Right? This is obviously at the climax of this pattern. Something's got to go. Something's got to give. And being that I am biased to the upside, I would be looking for a breakout, but that doesn't mean you just market buy, right? You still need to be systematic and strategic with how you go about entering, because your entry is everything. If you have a bad entry, you are screwed. Let's see. Bait says, is my chat popping up? It is. It is, yes. Shout out to Trucker Steve. Shout out to Scorch888. When will ORT pump? That's tough to say, man. I have no idea when it's going to pump. I wish I could give you some type of time on when that will happen. Looks like this thing just keeps on selling off. Maybe it's going to do the, right, we call this one the schlong. It's dipping. We're looking for that, that reversal, basically. Bit of a schlong pattern. Crypto Empire longtime community watchers will know what I'm talking about with the schlong pattern. COQ, we were looking at COQ the other day. Can trade on Blofin under the ticker 10,000 COQ INU. I believe we had a 288 level. So this is coming into its we looked at this last night. Somebody asked me about it, but it's coming into these levels at 0.008. And another weekly range play, right? This is another, we talked about this earlier in the stream for anyone just joining in now. But many altcoin charts are in these weekly ranges, and they're all looking to break their weekly ranges. And if they do break the weekly ranges, which I think is going to happen in August, we're going to see some really, really crazy pumps. And many of them are at their range highs. So let's just watch for that breakout, guys. Let's watch for the breakout. D-Jetty from the blockchain. He says, what I've learned from Crypto Empire is trade the ranges, triple drives, and W patterns, and the schlong. It's a good one. Shout out to Moby Sage. And D Jenny says, remember when Atom and Osmosis were all the rage? Love those days. Took a position in the range and hoping to grab a 2x. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. But anyways, guys, that's our live stream for right now. Remember, you guys really should get inside of the Empire trading floor. While it's super easy to get in. It's really not hard requirements to get in. As you can see, we currently have 53 people inside, including myself and Neo, who are running the group. So there's like 50 people. Very easy. Sign up to Blofin using the link down below, and you can go ahead and use the Telegram link to sign up with the bot. Again, the bot works, but you need to be signed up to the Crypto Empire link to get in. All right, we called Pump Fund last night, and it's currently up around 7% or so from entry. Bottom very well could be in for Pump Fund, all right, especially if Solana is going to go ahead and continue its move up higher here. Right, here's Solana on the daily. That low was put in last Friday, July 25th, and it's just reclaiming very important levels. It went ahead and reclaimed the yearly open at 189, which was huge. It reclaimed 190 as well. So with Solana pushing up, maybe we see Pump Fund bottom. Also, Pump Fund launching a bunch of incentive things. Remember, don't hate it, don't date it, just trade it. So get in there, guys, and I'll see you all very soon. Remember, if you guys enjoyed the live stream, don't forget to smash the like button. All right, one like goes a very long way. It helps me out tremendously. So smash that like button right now. Apply to the Crypto Empire Mastermind down below, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't subscribed. I appreciate you all being here. We'll see you all very soon in the next video. My name is Connor from Crypto Empire, signing out.